Hey, pretty girl alumni. Welcome to the Beauty Parlor, where we discuss everything beauty, pretty privilege, and how you can maximize on those outcomes in society. Now, today we are going to talk about pretty privilege and basically break down the misconceptions that a lot of beautiful women have on pretty privilege. The first misconception is that your life gets easier the prettier you are. And let me tell you that this could not be further away from the truth. I've actually experienced a lot of hardships that I didn't even know came with losing weight, with feeling my best, feeling confident, clearing my skin, improving my life. And a lot of these struggles are social. And the reason why your life gets harder is because of a lot of people with crabs in the barrel mentality, where they do not want to see you surpass them or live a better life than them. So they will do a lot of things to sabotage you, to make sure that you do not elevate. And this is not to say that you shouldn't strive to be your prettiest self or elevate your beauty in any way. This is just more to highlight the reality of pretty privilege. There are a lot of good sides to being pretty and elevating your beauty, but when you do that, you have to also take into account the downside, quote unquote, of pretty privilege. So, what I've noticed is that the prettier you become, the more weight you lose, the more style you gain. Uh, People become less empathetic towards you, your struggles. People tend to scrutinize you or target you more. People become a lot more passive aggressive, and they tend to exclude you from social settings, workplace settings, events, and so on. So, why do people do this to pretty women, especially pretty Black women? Well, I truly believe that when people find you beautiful, people find you attractive, they tend to put you on a pedestal, right? You don't ask to be put on this pedestal, people do it, right? Which is why a lot of celebrities, influencers, content creators, influential people tend to be beautiful. And if they aren't quote unquote beautiful, they spend a lot of money on surgical procedures to attain beauty standards, right? To reach those beauty standards. So when someone who isn't extremely famous, extremely wealthy, has those privileges, people put you on a pedestal because they associate beauty with all other good attributes. If you've ever heard of the halo effect, you'll understand this concept. If you've never heard of the halo effect before, it's basically this theory that people tend to associate other positive attributes and characteristics with pretty people. So, traits such as being kind, smart, being trustworthy, being creative, being talented with pretty people, even though they might not know them, or even if these things aren't necessarily true. And my personal opinion about this theory is that people know how hard it is to not only achieve a beauty standard, certain beauty standards, but also to maintain them. It's hard to have a healthy diet. It's hard to be in shape. or achieve your body goals or certain body goals, it's hard to always be put together, take care of your hair, take care of your skin, take care of your nails, etc. It's hard to always have good style and dress to impress. So people associate that work ethic with other attributes of your life. So they might associate your consistency and your work ethic with your beauty to consistency in your work, your actual job, or your actual passions. So naturally, they feel like you would elevate in those circumstances as well. And so people feel very threatened because as humans, especially living in a very capitalistic society, we are taught to be very competitive. So a lot of people feel like they can compete. They're not willing to do the things that you do to stay fit. You know, they're not willing to walk 10K steps a day. They're not willing to have a plant based diet. They're not willing to cut out all the junk food. So they feel like they can compete. And when people feel threatened, or you highlight their insecurities, even if you're not doing it intentionally, just by you existing, people tend to lash out. People tend to do very strange things, I have noticed. So, this next point is related to women. So, have you ever noticed or have you ever been in a situation where you are in a new social setting and people get into groups or there's certain cliques and you find it very hard to fit into a certain clique, right? Maybe the women, they're very catty or they're very passive aggressive or they're very mean nice or just outright exclude you. And I've noticed that this is because a lot of women are male centered and women are socialized from a very young age to basically fight for male validation and male attention. And so, if there is a beautiful woman in their social settings, they view that as a threat, they view that as competition. So, they will exclude you, they will push you away with the hopes that you leave the social settings, so that's less competition for them. Or if you don't leave the social settings, they'll kind of outcast you so that you are less desirable to maybe the men there or the people there. So people don't want to associate with you, which also eliminates the competition. And on the opposite spectrum of that, you might have some people befriend you or get close to you or be nice to you with ulterior motives. So they might see you as a social status. A lot of men do this. They tend to get into relationships with beautiful women, gorgeous women, because they see them as a social status to brag about to their homeboys, to their colleagues, to their family members, again, with this perception of competition. My girlfriend is prettier than yours. My wife is prettier than yours. But they still have that jealousy and that inferiority complex. So behind the scenes, they'll treat you um, really poorly. They might cheat on you. They'll just cause you a lot of pain just because they want to either humble you or to lower your self esteem so much that you stay with them because you don't think you're good enough, or they just want to take out their frustration that they don't get the perceived benefits of pretty privilege that you receive. And with the women who do this, I've noticed that they tend to befriend you because they want access to the privileges that they would not be able to get on their own. So, for example, they want to get access to the men that you have access to because of your looks. Maybe they want to use you as a social status symbol when you go out. They want the men who buy you drinks to buy them drinks as well. They want to get into clubs for free. So they want the privilege by proxy. And I'm sure a lot of us pretty women can attest to the fact that our pretty privilege can hold so much weight that it transfers onto others just by association. So, for example, if you go out and a man wants your attention, they will not just buy you a shot or not just buy you a drink because they want to be perceived as kind by you. So they'll buy you a whole table a shot. They'll buy you a whole table a drink. They will offer your whole friend group a ride. They will talk to your whole friend group. They'll be kind to your whole friend group, right? For the most part. So a lot of people know that even by associating with you, they will have some of that privilege trickle down to them. So, ladies, please comment down below if you've experienced any of these weird behaviors. If you have any stories, please like, subscribe, and share if you want more content like this. And I'll see you next time. Bye.